Nebraska farmers have planted 6% of this year's soybean crop, according to the latest USDA crop progress report. As of Sunday, they had also finished planting 44% of corn, well ahead of the 12% completion at the same time a year ago. Now, UNL Extension educators are reporting calls from producers on concerns about Army cutworm moths affecting that corn. We talked with UNL Extension entomologist Bob Wright, who says there is a higher number now than usual, but that isn't necessarily cause for concern.
The moth flight is early because of the warm winter and probably higher because of the mild winter. We get these periodically in Nebraska. The numbers change from year to year, but this seems to be a little higher than we've had the last couple of years.
So in early May, where we are right now, and in the midst of planting, how long will they stick around in this area of the state, in the eastern area of the state?
Well, basically as long as there's flowering trees and shrubs that they can get nectar from, that's what they're trying to do now. They eventually move west, and over the summer they spend the time in the Rockies. And so the fact that they're moths means that they're not in the feeding stage anymore, in the immature cutworm stage. And in their life cycle, they don't do any egg laying in the spring. They spend the summer in the Rockies and then fly back to the plains in the fall, and that's when they lay their eggs. So the presence of a lot of moths now isn't a danger to corn crops in terms of any egg laying they're going to be doing.
That has been the question. People are concerned that they need to do something about it now, but the answer is no?
Not in terms of the Army cutworm. They're not going to do any more damage this summer. There are other types of cutworms we have in Nebraska that could potentially damage corn, and so every year we want people to scout their fields as corn emerges. And this is regardless of whether you have a BT corn that's active against cutworms or you used a systemic seed treatment. If we have high numbers of cutworms, which some fields may be high, they can overwhelm those types of control measures.
So a high number now, does that mean that when they go to Colorado for the summer and come back in the fall, they'll be just as high?
Oh, there's a chance of that, but it depends a lot on the weather conditions from now to then, and so a lot of things that are hard to predict, but not necessarily a high problem next fall.
So for producers out there now, what's the recommendation for individual fields?
Well, basically we have to make a decision on a field-by-field basis. One field could be heavily infested with different species of cutworms and another one not. So we don't want to spray until we know we have problems in that field. So as corn emerges, check to see if you have damage from cutworms. The name cutworm indicates that they feed at the base of the plant and cut off the stem at the base of the plant and cut it. And so that's the type of injury you'd see if you have cutworms in a field.
Have people been treating so far this early spring?
We've had some people spray pre-plant, and some people are starting to spray now. And part of that is concern about the Army cutworm, which is not a real concern in terms of the biology of this insect.
The treatment doesn't do anything. It has no effect on the
Right.
Army cutworm.
Right, yes.
For the latest information on Army cutworm moths, you can read the article published this week on the CropWatch website.